Hello, beautiful. Welcome to Lifestyle Manifesting. I'm Shannon, and on my channel, I discuss manifesting as a lifestyle, every area of your life. I am the only coach you need to follow because I align you with your desired reality. You get results with my processes, and they work. I have a success story that I wanted to share. Let me pull up my success story here. This is from one of my clients, Deborah, who used my self-concept course. And Deborah said, "Hi, Shannon, I want to say thank you because my life has changed. I purchased your course and I manifested my specific person. Now we are moving in together. I followed the protocol for 30 days and I didn't have any movement. I started wondering if it's going to work. But then I remembered I need to stay loyal. I kept remembering your words, so I diligently read my letter every morning. I decided it's done. The following week on Friday morning, I got the message from my SP. He told me how much he missed me and that he needed to see me. Those were my affirmations. I wrote from the exercise these affirmations, and I can't believe that I manifest him back in 5 weeks. Thank you. I will update you on our love journey, Deborah." We actually had a couple one-on-one sessions. Then she did my self-concept work on her own. In my course, part of the protocol is writing a letter to yourself. You're writing that letter to yourself from the vision of already having your desire. She manifested her specific person, speaking the exact affirmations she wrote down in her letter. She persisted. Sure, she had doubts. I love that she told us that she had doubts because we do have doubts. And it's okay to have a doubt. You still manifest, or you still can manifest your desire because it's yours. You guys are powerful. Today, I also want to talk about manifesting your specific person fast. So if you want to manifest anything fast, this applies to any desire, but I'll talk a little more specifically about a specific person because that's a lot of questions that I receive from all of you. How do you manifest that specific person fast? You have to keep living in the end of the version of you who already is that person. You're already the version of you. You're thinking the thoughts of the version of you who already has your desire. You're already that person. You're affirming that you already have this desire. You're affirming that it's done. You're affirming that you're irresistible. You're going to create your affirmations. And what do you say to yourself if you already have your desire? If you want to manifest something fast, then you say, I know what I'm doing. I know how to manifest. I know how to manifest effortlessly. I know how to manifest fast. Then those should be your affirmations. You're someone who knows how to manifest fast. You're someone who knows how to manifest your specific person. If you want to manifest them fast, then you're going to spend more time focusing on your life and stop focusing on what they're doing. Stop focusing on the physical world. Go within your imagination and know that that's your creative power. Your creative power, which creates your reality, which is the life you're living, it comes from first cause, your imagination. So when you're consistently affirming the experience you want as if you have it, it is law. It must manifest. You could create that this is a guarantee. It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee. You can create that. You can affirm that. My manifestation is a guarantee. As sure as the sun rises and sets, your manifestation is sure. It's done. It's yours. You are the operant power. That specific person and everyone in your world is a reflection of your inner world that's within you. They're reflecting your inner world. Hi, everyone. I'm seeing everyone log in here. All right. So when you start to ask questions like, what's going on? It's not happening. You're focused on the time, or you're focused on what was said, or you're focused on what you don't have. That means you're focused on the reality of not having it. So you have to have the awareness to recognize that in the present moment. Have the awareness, or maybe even if it's not the present moment, that's okay. You might just have a realization about yesterday or last week when you were just consistently thinking about not having your desire. Okay. So you can remind yourself in the present moment, because every moment is a new moment. Every moment's a new moment. Every moment's a new moment to create. The present moment's the only moment that exists. Whatever you're consistently or dominantly, whatever you're dominantly knowing or believing in the present moment is what becomes your future reality and your current and future experience. So to change your experience, you change your perception about what you're seeing and what your life is and who you are. Okay. You are the God of your reality. You are the creator of your reality, and you're already doing it. You've already been creating your life. You've already been creating everything. All right. So you haven't been taking conscious control. Now is the time to take conscious control and decide that you are the version of you right now, not becoming. Okay, becoming is okay too, but you could also shift and feel that you already are. Okay. Not that it's in the future. And I know I sometimes remind you of this, but this is how you manifest fast. Instead of thinking it's off in the future. There's no future. There is only the present moment. We can't go into the future. Well, we could go into our imagination and imagine the future, but imagine the future as if it is now. We can only imagine the future in the present moment. Okay, so know and feel that it's done now. Feel the version of you now. The version of you with your desire is now. You have your desire now. It already happened. It already worked. You already have your desire. You already have all within you. You have your desire. All right, let me answer some questions. Jen, what do you think about dating others while manifesting your SP? It keeps me distracted. It's fine. Absolutely fine. Live in the end of your joy. Live in the end of a version of you, like the self-concept, where you're thinking to yourself, like, I'm a goddess and I do what I want when I want. And I date people and I am courted. I'm someone who's courted, and I'm someone who gets what I want, and I'm someone who enjoys life, and I'm someone who gets to choose because I'm courted by many, right? So think about that perception, okay? I want you to just shift this. I know we can't get anything wrong, but we actually can if we're not declaring it. So you do want to create the belief that you can't get anything wrong, right? You can't get anything wrong. Circumstances don't matter. Your desire is already yours, right? You're dating because that's who you are. Okay. You're someone that gets everything you want, and you're someone who has choices. You're someone who's living your joy. Zeph Lane, I've decided to focus on myself for now. Do I still affirm? You're focusing on yourself. Affirmations could be part of you focusing on yourself. Use affirmations, or we could call it a story. Use a story or affirmations to focus on the version of you that you are being. So you're saying things to yourself like, I'm more powerful and I'm more confident and I'm loving myself and I'm loving everything about me. Okay, so those, it's not that it has to be affirmations, but it's just your thoughts about yourself. Affirmations are just to create new thoughts and new beliefs about yourself. And some people need to repeat it over and over, and other people and others can just say it once and they're like, yeah, I believe that's true. Question when manifesting SP, he is not an ex, just friends on social media. So can you still manifest? Yes, you can. Absolutely. To manifest anyone, it doesn't matter if it was an ex. It doesn't matter if you've never met them before. It doesn't matter if it's a friend of a friend or someone you saw, someone you think you're interested in. None of that matters, because you can bring them into your life. You can manifest. Really what you're doing is aligning with a reality that already exists where you're together. How would you manifest someone who's on social media and your friends on social media? Well, then think from the end that you're already together, like the version of you who's already together. That version of you would say things like, he likes me, he loves me, he thinks I'm beautiful, I am beautiful. So you're focusing on how you perceive yourself in relation to that person. So sometimes, like when you don't know you're a conscious creator, and if you're not a conscious creator, you might start wondering, well, would he like me? Am I his type? All those questions you ask, the questions you ask that are doubts and worries, right? The thing is, you're the creator. So you can create what he thinks about you. What does he think about you? He thinks you're gorgeous. What does he think about you? You're the perfect kind of partner. You're the dream partner. So go to the end. Speak to yourself as if you already have your desire. Go to the wish fulfilled, affirming you already are this person. You already have your desire. You don't have to know how it's going to happen. It could happen in infinite ways. He could reach out to you through social media. He could just happen to be at a party that you go to or an event that you go to. He could happen to be at the restaurant that you're at and approach you and say, oh my gosh, you're here. Like, do you understand? Infinite possibilities exist for you to bring someone into your life. You're just living in the end that it's already done. That's all you have to do. And you're going to be affirming that consistently. You don't have to affirm, you could just know it consistently. You can consistently know that this is done. You could also write yourself a letter. Here's what someone said. Write yourself a love letter with everything you wanted to hear from SP. You can do that, right? I tried that, and then someone in the group told me I wasn't living in the end, and the guy I was dating went cold. Okay, but Nadia, stop listening to, I know we want to get advice from others. If someone in a group is telling you that you weren't living in the end, you can decide that you were living in the end. You can decide, no, I'm living in the end and I've got this. Because sometimes people are reflecting back our own worries and doubts. If the guy you're dating went cold, it's no facts are final. That doesn't have to be your final result. That doesn't have to be your experience. If that's not what you want, you don't have to accept that. But in order to change it, you change it through imagining and affirming or scripting by going in your imagination and contemplating the story of a wish fulfilled. Wish fulfilled is you having your wish, right? You're in fulfillment. Fulfillment means you have it. So even though he went cold, that is the moment where you don't take no for an answer. You decide, okay, he went cold. It's something to do with you, probably because you thought you weren't living in the end. Then he reflected, you're not living in the end, or he's reflecting something within you. The worries, the doubts, and the fears, he reflected it. You could change it. You have the power to change it. It's easy to change it. We can create that it's easy to change it. Okay, it might not feel that easy, but you could start creating that it's easy, because you just have to start to see a vision of you living in the end is you saying, no, I have this. Yes, I have this. Maybe that sounds better, right? Yes, I have this. If someone tells you, no, you're not living in the end, you decide that you are. You say, yes, I am living in the end because I know this is my desire and I know it's mine. And you are unshakable. Nothing shakes you. So that's how you could create a reality where you're having contact, right? All you have to do is focus on the version of you who has your desire. Yeah, but okay, so Nadia, you said, you're saying, I felt like I was doing something wrong. If you felt like you're doing something wrong, and then the world is the effect. Remember, this is mind blowing, right? It's kind of mind blowing because you're like discovering that we're the cause and the world's the effect. Okay. So if you want to change anything in the world, you can. Everything, anything. You felt like you're doing something wrong. And maybe you asked a question because look, I hope you're still here. Because if you kind of feel like you're doing something wrong, then you go to the group and you say, hey, you said something about how you're living in the wish fulfilled, but you also feel like you're doing something wrong. People are reflecting you and they confirmed yet that you felt like you were doing something wrong. That's why this whole idea, not idea, but like To be a powerful creator, you have to disregard what the outside world is telling you. You're the operant power. And even if someone said, no, you're not doing that right, you could, if you declared, yes, I am, you're living in the end because you're saying, yes, you are. It's only you that needs to declare you are. But if you're feeling, okay, so this, you should be able to catch this now. Okay, you're going to change this right now. You could change it right now where you're receiving a phone call today, like now, like he's thinking about you right now and calling you right now. If you're feeling like you're doing something wrong, then people will reflect to you and confirm that truth, that they'll be like, oh yeah, it's not that they're saying, oh yeah, you are. They're just confirming it by making comments. Oh, you're not doing that right. They're reflecting what's within you. So if you're feeling unsure when it comes to manifesting, a lot of times we can feel unsure, like, should I do this or should I do that? Or I don't know what to do. Then you have people reflecting back to you, try this, try that. Maybe this will work. Maybe that'll work. Okay. And then you're kind of just like, maybe no movement. And you're just like you're just here with like not moving back and maybe hot and cold. And it's not, do you want to make momentum? I just stopped that conversation. If you want to create momentum and create a shift, then you decide that you would declare like, I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Even when the world shows you confusion, you have to stay centered, anchored. The world could still be reflecting back some of that where, yeah, you're doing something wrong. But if you reply, or your thought, whether your assumption or thought or reply is, no, I know I'm living in my wish fulfilled. I know this is done. Then you have demonstrated that you are living in the end. And here's where people kind of get, I guess they kind of fall off the wagon. When you fall off the wagon, when you're staying loyal, you're affirming, you're saying, I've got this. And then let's say like several days pass, and then you're starting to kind of look. Now you're looking for evidence. If you're having a thought about, if you're starting to have thoughts and assumptions like, maybe I need to do something different. Well, then you're not really living in the end. You're living from a version of you who thinks you still have to try to get it. If you're thinking you need to do something different, you're not saying to yourself within that you actually have it. Okay? It's implying that what you really believe within is like, you better do something more. That's why people try different techniques. Let me try this one. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, let me try this one. Oh, it didn't work. Well, if you keep trying techniques, you're always looking for something. You're living more in that like question, where's it coming? When's it coming? Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to live from the end. Nothing's wrong. The version of you who knows you have your desire, like there's nothing wrong. Let's say 3 days have passed or 5 days have passed. Even just one day, even hours later by the evening, you don't see anything happen. You're like, no big deal, no worries. It's done. So you would say things to yourself like, it's done because I imagined it. Let's say a week passes. And for a moment you think, well, I've been so happy and I'm in my self-concept and why isn't it happening? Then that's when you need to catch yourself. Because in that moment, if you catch yourself and you say, wait a minute, I do have it. Instead of having an assumption like, I need to try something new, because that means you still don't believe you have it. Okay, step back into the powerful you and just consistently decide it's done. Lean into faith, lean into the knowing. All right. So you get that, like your world just reflected that, yeah, like, am I doing something wrong? What am I doing wrong? Then your world is reflecting, yeah, you are doing something wrong. Then you're trying something else. Then you're asking the reflection, hey, am I doing this right? The reflection is reflecting back to you your own confusion or your own doubts or your own worries or the fact that you're unsure about what you're doing. Yeah, so I want you to recognize this, because this is going to be a master key for you to catapult yourself into a new reality when you realize it's just a mirror. Okay? So you're stepping into a powerful version of you, not looking for evidence. The evidence, you are the evidence is within you. So if you're looking for the evidence, then that means you don't know that it's within you. Okay, it's self-awareness. This is self-awareness. Okay, Jenny, but what if we still miss them when being with the other people we are dating? I want you to start thinking about how great you are. Stop missing them, because if you're missing them, you ask yourself, if you're missing them, are you putting them on a pedestal? Okay, you're not missing them. They're missing out on you in your life. Look what if your thought was, look what they're missing out on. Well, when instead of thinking, I miss them, you're just keeping them away. But if your assumption is, look at how fun it's not that you're bragging about it, but it's just kind of like a feeling within, like, oh, you're missing out on this. If you have that assumption, like they are missing out on you, they will be coming to you, because you're filling yourself up. You're filling yourself up, and you're seeing your life as the center and the place to be. Okay. So you could choose, when you're missing them, change it. When you're missing them, you got to snap out of it and say, wait a minute, I'm the operant power. Then you live in the end. Live in the end, like this is done, and you're living your joy, and be in the present moment and live in gratitude. It's done. Generally see yourself as someone who's in demand. If you're someone that's in demand, you're going out and dating, and you're seeing what you like, and people are courting you, and they're approaching you, and they're reaching out to you. So even though the world is not showing you that is true right now, it's not going to show you it's true until you start to think and believe that that is true. And you have to start thinking and believing that's true without any evidence. Okay, so without the evidence, with faith, you hold loyal to the faith, to the vision, to knowing that you're the creator. Okay, so you go out on a date. Don't be out on the date wishing you were with SP or just trying to pass the time. No, go out on that date and feel the version of you who feels beautiful and gorgeous, and keep practicing the version of you who's in demand, that like you're a head turner. Okay, like I'm just painting a picture of a story that you could create your life, but there's infinite stories. It doesn't have to be that, but what do you want to experience? Affirm that. Affirm how beautiful you are. Affirm how easy it is. Use the experience of being with someone else for you to practice manifestation deliberately. While you're on a date with someone, just start to have a thought like, they're going to tell me how stunning I look. Or pick a word that you don't usually hear. Maybe, if you usually hear you look beautiful, then start affirming, I look stunning. And see what your date says. Or start affirming something about yourself that you wouldn't normally hear, so you could keep proving to yourself that your date is reflecting you. That not just your date, but everyone is. So there are many ways while you're doing anything in your reality, you could keep testing it. Let's say you're like, I love this winery, I'd love to go there. And then let's say he responds to you saying, oh, I'm really busy next weekend. You don't have to take no for an answer. This is how you could test it. In that moment, you could say to him, okay, sure. But what you could do in your imagination is say, oh no, he's going with me. And he is planning that date, and he loves that idea. And his schedule is clear. And just keep affirming what you want it to be, no matter what he says. This is a way you could test that you're the operant power, because I guarantee he's going to pull out his phone and go, oh, you know what? I did have something, but I realized that got canceled. It will work. It might even be tomorrow, the next day after the date, where he reaches out to say, you know what? I cleared my schedule because I kept thinking about how you really want to go to the vineyard, and I want to take you there. These are ways that you could test your reality, you guys. Test your reality. Go out, have fun, live your best life. This is really just, it's about being more direct in what you want in life, right? Like creating the vision of what you want instead of creating what others have decided for you. Like, what you're currently experiencing is what it is because of beliefs that you just adopted while you were a child and you were a teenager and you were living life and we didn't even know. So you have all these beliefs that you adopted, and it's something like 95% of what you are is just a program. 5% you consciously chose. So this is you waking up and taking conscious control of your life instead of just thinking, I don't know, do I want to do that? No, now you can get clear and you say, I want that, and that's what I'm going to have. What experience do you want? Start having fun with this. Start thinking bigger. Dream big. Think big. You don't have to manifest. Some people might think, oh, I'm manifesting. Someone said to me how they were manifesting $10,000 a month, and they were so grateful. I'm like, amazing, great job. Now you did that. You could have anything you want. Can you imagine $1 million a month or $100,000 a month? And she's like, whoa, wow, that sounded so big to her. I'm like, well, practice that in your mind, because 10,000 is amazing, but you know what? You could be making 100,000 a month. You can make 200,000. It's infinite possibilities. You can make $1 million. But if you haven't really been imagining and practicing that reality, you may just think, you know what? I'm good with where I'm at, which is fine also. It's fine also, but you can choose. You could actually choose. You were saying, won't that confuse your subconscious? I mean, you're your subconscious mind. Let me read something that I have in my notes from Neville Goddard, because I read this to myself. Wait, is it in this phone or that phone? Okay, here it is. This is something in one of Neville Goddard's lectures. I took this and I just copy and pasted it into my notes, and I read this all the time to myself just to remind myself my subconscious mind, which is your co-creator, is always listening to you, okay? Okay, so from the book of John, this was Neville Goddard. He said, from the book of John, if we know that he hears us in whatever we ask of him, we know that we have already obtained the request made of him. Okay, let me repeat that. If we know that he hears us in whatever we ask of him, infinite intelligence or God or source, right, universe, we know that we have already obtained the request made of him. Okay, then Neville Goddard went on to say, if I and my Father are one, you and your subconscious are one. Okay, so if I and my Father are one, my Father heard it. There's this whole belief about convincing your subconscious mind. Okay, but if I and my Father are one, my Father heard it. Your subconscious mind heard it. I don't know the means that will be employed to pass. Okay, you don't have to know the how. I don't know the means that will be employed to pass, but I can't deny that I heard it. And if I heard it and I and my Father are one, can I not now say to my inner being, thank you, Father? Just say thank you to your subconscious mind, or thank you, Father. Thank you. If you have something, aren't you saying thank you? Like you could literally walk around just going, oh my God, thank you. Oh my God, thank you. I really just wake up and right away, the first thing I'm thinking is like, oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm just thinking about this lovely day that's all unfolding for me. And I know that he hears me. So I'm just saying thank you. I'm reading this every day, and it's in my notes in my phone, and I'm reading it to myself every morning to remind myself, okay? So let me move on, what he said. So if we know that he hears all that we ask of him, then we know we have already obtained the request made of him. I do not know, he said, I do not know as John, because that's from the Bible, right? I do not know as Shannon, or you do not know as Ariana, how it will happen. You do not know how it will happen, Ariana, okay? You only know, or Neville Goddard said, I only know that I heard it. And if I heard it, my Father heard it, because he and I are one. He is my imagination. I can say within myself, as if we are two, like you feel this like co-create. That's the idea of the co-creator, right? You're co-creating with infinite intelligence that's beating your heart. So if you know that it's like you are two within, right? He is your imagination. I can say within myself as if we are two. Thank you. You heard it because I heard it. Okay, say to your subconscious mind, thank you. You heard it, so your subconscious mind heard it. Then, this part I really love. Then allow the depth of my own being to devise the means necessary to bring it to pass. I'm going to reread that, okay? Then allow the depth of my own being to devise the means necessary to bring it to pass. And that I am not responsible from that moment on. I did what was asked of me. I did it. Having heard it, I give thanks for the being within me who has the means, the wisdom, and the power to externalize it, knowing that the entire outside world is solely produced through imagining. All right, so when you're wondering, is my subconscious mind going to be confused? Well, yeah, because your subconscious mind is going to reflect that you are wondering if it's going to be confused. The reason your heart is beating is because your subconscious mind beats your heart. I like to think of subconscious mind and infinite intelligence as one and the same. So if you heard it, your inner being also heard it. So you just decide yes, and you say thank you. If you know you have something and you're like, hey, thank you. If your mom said, hey, I ordered this new dress for you. I thought it would be beautiful. I know it's your size. I ordered it. It's on its way. Would you be like, Mom, when are you going to send it? Okay, she said, I sent it. Mom, I didn't get it yet. No, you'd be like, oh my God, thank you, Mom. Thank you. You know your mom's on it, or whoever it was, if it's a friend or whoever in your life, right? So it's done. Just say thank you. Practice or affirm it. Sometimes we need to, why are we saying affirmations? Just to create a new belief. So we're no longer doubting. So you're feeling more sure and feeling more confident. That's why you're affirming something. You're creating a new belief by affirming something. Whatever that desire is, whether you're affirming, I am irresistible, you're affirming that because you didn't feel irresistible. So then you're affirming, I am irresistible. But if you affirm, I am irresistible, and then people are not showing you that you're irresistible, then you need to keep imagining you are. Don't let the 3D tell you who you are. You keep imagining you are. It's not going to change if you start noticing, but no one's thinking, because you have these ideas in your mind and assumptions. If you're starting to assume, well, nobody's really finding me irresistible, well, then no one is going to find you irresistible. You have to decide you are without the evidence. You just decide you're irresistible. You're irreplaceable and you're irresistible. Let's say you wanted to have an experience of feeling irresistible and let's say you go into like a bar or something or a restaurant. You're right before you go, you're all dolled up, you're looking beautiful, and you're like, I love this outfit, I feel good. You walk in and you sit down and you kind of feel like, well, nobody really looked. Okay. But see, you can revise in that moment. If you want to start to create a new reality, sometimes it might not reflect back immediately, but you have to keep imagining that it did, or you imagine the wish fulfilled. You keep imagining what you want, because while you're sitting at your table or whatever, you're at a bar or somewhere, if you're somewhere and you want to imagine you're irresistible and approached, then you keep imagining it until it happens. But if you recognize that people are not approaching you and they're not finding you irresistible, you're really putting that out. Like those are your thoughts and feelings, and that's pushed out. Then those thoughts are pushed out. I don't know. Nobody's noticing me. Then that's pushed out. So even when the world doesn't show you it's true, you have to declare it's true in order for it to really shift, for you're really just shifting into a reality where that reality already exists. Okay, and that's why the whole idea of being delusional is a beautiful idea. Fake it till you make it is a beautiful idea. You keep practicing that version of you and it will become true because your world is already reflecting you. Rachel, do you visualize SP wanting you or just focus on yourself? Focus on yourself, but here, you do want to focus on yourself in relation to that specific person. Like, it's like you're developing a character. You're really developing a character, just like an actor would develop a character. So if you're getting into character and you're the writer director, but let's say the director tells you, okay, you're just going to feel beautiful. This is the character that you are, right? Like, this is what you're writing for your wish fulfilled, the self-concept of the version you view in the relationship with your specific person. Now, action. If you were an actor, like, how would you start acting and being that person? So just start thinking from that version of you. And you could think from that version of you, and you could imagine your specific person is like so into you. You could use the idea of them to feel the version of you that has what you want. Visualize that whatever you want to hear them saying. It's okay that you're focusing on SP, but you do want to start with the self first. Okay, I was working at a hospital and did they fire you? I want them to call back. Imagine you're already back. If you were already back at work, imagine what that would be like. You're talking to your coworkers, you're talking to the nurses, the doctors, like in that environment. Live from the end of already having it back. Imagine that you're telling your family and friends like, oh, I'm so happy that I got my job back. I'm so happy that it was even better than I thought. I'm even making more money. Do you want to make more money? Because you could create a reality where you're even making more money. It is literally like when people call this the Matrix or a video game, it's kind of true because everything is a reflection. Everything is like a program, and you've broken free of that program. SP as a friend and colleague, how do I handle communication with her? Live in the end. Like, sometimes we don't have to overthink that. Okay. So, the fact that you're saying SP as a friend and colleague, what is your belief around that? That's what you want to identify first. You're telling me that, so what? In my opinion, they're a friend and they're a colleague. That's even better because you get to see them. You could paint the picture of that whole story working in support of you having your desire, but you could also paint that picture. You could have a belief. This is why you want to identify your belief. If your belief is, I don't want to ruin the friendship. Well, now you're already creating that it's not going to work out, or you're already creating some negative story around that. Or like, what if people find out? Like, get in check with your own assumption about that. Because your assumption, it could be like the best case scenario. Create the best case scenario. Best case scenario looks like you are in the most loving relationship. You are colleagues who are madly in love. You work together. You're friends. I mean, see, we could also create the story that being a friend helps build a solid relationship anyway, because you started as a friend. Okay, so that doesn't have to be for everyone, right? It's just a story. But your story could be like, imagine it's 3 years from now and you're at a party with her and you're already in a relationship. And somebody asks, hey, how did you guys meet each other? Now, speak what that is. Oh, we worked together. We were colleagues. We were friends. And now we're together. Now we are whatever, in love. We're living together, married, whatever that end goal is for you. When you're asking, because I'm only trying to answer from what little one sentence you have here, right? How do you handle communication with her? Every time you talk to her, why don't you imagine she thinks you're the perfect partner? Why don't you imagine that go to the end and imagine she's saying, I love you. Go to the end and imagine that you hang out all the time and that you're madly in love and that it's easy to communicate. You're just assuming that in your mind. So anytime you communicate, just communicate like regular and think to yourself how in love you are with each other. It will all just unfold naturally when you keep living in the end. Right, Riley, hi. I've been manifesting, but there's a third party. He's been contacting me, but the third party is there. Yeah, just erase the third party. The third party only exists because of you. The third party is a reflection of you. The reason there is a third party is because of you. And you didn't choose that reality, but you pushed out of you something that was within you. If you felt insecure, then that was pushed out and is reflected in something like a third party. If someone's insecure, or someone doesn't feel heard and seen and feel like a priority, it's pushed out into your world, which could be a third party. It could be your partner, your husband, partner, wife, or the person you like is always too busy for you. They're always working. Work's a priority and not you. You're on the back burner. So if you feel like you're on the back burner, or you feel like you're insecure, or you feel, okay, so these things from within that you're feeling about yourself and believing about yourself, it's pushed out into your world. So so the third party is there because it's coming from you. So do you understand that if you created this, or you align to this reality, you're aligning to this reality because of what's within you, then you could just shift into a reality where that doesn't exist. You could shift into it. And how are you going to do that? Well, first of all, by knowing you're the operant power. Don't put any attention on that third party. Are you talking to people about the third party? Are you wondering, is that third party prettier? Is that third party, are they together? What are they doing? No, just put no focus on the third party. Because every moment that you put the focus on the third party, that third party must be in your life. They don't exist if you don't put attention on them. The only thing that exists in your reality is your consciousness, what you're aware of. I know, right? But just test it. Just test it. It's like, wow, really? Yes, it's true. That third party is a reflection of what's within you. So can you identify what that was based on some things that I was saying? Now, you could shift this. You could change this. You could change your life. You could change your experience. Instead of comparing yourself to the third party, which you may or may not be doing, you don't do that. You just think about how amazing you are. You start living centered in your own life. Be centered in your life, in your business, in your perception of yourself. Are you centered in your perception of yourself? If you're not, then start being it now. Okay. So that, like affirmations, you could say, okay, the reason you're saying affirmations is to create a belief about yourself. Start believing you are number one. Start believing you are irresistible. Start believing you are irreplaceable. Start believing you are enough, or start knowing. Maybe you already know this, okay, but start knowing it. Start knowing this. Start knowing you're enough. Start knowing you get to have high standards and that the world will reflect that you have high standards. Start knowing that. If you have low standards, the world's just going to reflect that you have low standards. That's why you raise the bar. Raise the bar. What do you expect? You don't even want that version of that SP. Why don't you just let that all go in the past? Now you're going to rise in the highest version of yourself right now, just by declaring it. You're going to declare that you're number one. There's no competition. You're the bomb. You're gorgeous. You're amazing. Okay. You're everything. You're the dream partner. What is it? What would it feel like? Okay. So get into that character. Like, it's not that it's a character. It's a version of you that already exists. You have to get into the head of the mind and the thoughts of that version of you that already exists. And that version, okay, so that's why you go to the end. Go to the end. Go to the end where he is like, oh my God, can I please take you out? I want to fly you all over the world. Well, then if that was the situation you wanted to live in the end of that, then what would you be thinking? You'd be thinking, oh, I'm someone who gets flown around the world. I'm someone that is totally like adored. Start being her. Start being that version of you. And not just start and become and be that version of you. And you're solidifying that version of you. And when someone has hot and cold behavior, it's because they started feeling it was true, and then they kind of fell off the horse and forgot it, maybe based on what someone said to you. That's why this is about being a version of you that's anchored. You're not you're unshakable, right? Unshakable, anchored. Okay, so third party is gone. Don't spend any time thinking about the third party. And you're going to spend all the time, all of your thoughts are an investment. Can I talk? Think about every thought as an investment. Are you going to invest your thoughts and your time and your energy into that person? It's an investment. And your investment is very valuable because it's creating your life. So are you going to invest your thoughts in that person, or are you going to invest your thoughts in yourself? Because if you invest your thoughts into yourself, you're going to create that experience. Lisa, hi. How can I manifest feeling more love and connection? Simply by affirming it, by speaking as if you already have this. Okay. Then here's some I am affirmations, or like first person affirmations. I feel love. Like, do you feel love? Do you know how to feel love for yourself? Do you know how to feel love and give love without needing it back? Because if you have love to give and you're filled, then your world's going to show you and reflect back, right? So it's like fill yourself with love. That means you could give love without needing it back. And that's an internal awareness. Thank you, Darius. An internal awareness. Are you needing the love because you don't feel the love and you feel empty? Then that's going to keep your love away, right? But if you want to feel more love, then you're cultivating love from within. That means you would love yourself. That would mean you're seeing yourself radiating love, feeling love, giving compliments, giving yourself. Not giving yourself where you're walked on, but giving from the place of having so much to get, so much within you, you just want to give it, right? So you could, these are different ways you could feel love. Like you could give a compliment that could feel loving. You could give some kind words to someone else. You could say kind words to yourself, loving words to yourself. Treat yourself with love. Treat yourself with compassion. This is how you could feel more love. Feel the love for yourself. If you're loving towards yourself, because I think in a way we're kind of trained to, and it's happening from marketing and social media. And if we're not feeling enough and we feel like we have to be different, you're not really loving yourself, right? So decide that you're already perfect and you love yourself and you're already whole. You already are enough. Okay, and for a connection, you're just going to affirm it. Like I am love. I radiate love. I know how to build a connection. I create connections. I connect people. I connect easily with my person, or I connect with love. I connect with the world. I'm someone who creates connection. It's probably on some level not true, but remember, you affirm it until it becomes true. I didn't become what I am now without imagining from that version of me first. Okay, I imagine that version of me first. And even everyone, wherever you are, you already imagine this version of you. It might just have been unconscious, right? It wasn't deliberate. If it's something you don't like that you're experiencing, it's because it wasn't deliberate. So deliberately create who you are. I'm someone who knows how to connect. It's easy to connect with me. It's easy for someone to open up to me. It's easy for me to be emotionally available, right? Think about that version of you, okay? And your partner. Think about the two of you, if it's with a specific person, or do you mean generally? But you could decide that. Yeah, Riley, I literally walk around like he's mine and he texted me today. Okay, great. Can you manifest a specific person you already know? Maria, absolutely. Yes, you can. How do you make yourself feel chosen, Kim? By choosing yourself. By giving things to yourself, give yourself compliments, give yourself love, choose yourself. You could also think about what are your boundaries? Like, what boundaries do you have for yourself? Okay. Affirmation, I am chosen. An affirmation is powerful because in some way you think, how am I going to feel chosen just by affirming I am chosen? Well, here's how things will unfold in life anyway. Wherever you put your focus, your life unfolds in that direction. If you're claiming I am chosen, we don't know how it's going to happen, but you're going to start feeling chosen. Something's going to happen. Either you're going to watch a video that will help give you an idea. You will just have an idea. You will meet a person that just kind of reflects back to you something about feeling chosen or how you could do that. And your world's going to reflect that. So affirm, I'm someone who's chosen, and it will just naturally unfold. But it is important that you're consistently affirming that. You're not stopping. Okay, you're not saying, well, but I really don't. No, you're going to declare it. I am chosen. I feel chosen. I am chosen. Do I have to manifest the same thing every day? Like I write my manifestation down. Do I have to write every day? All about E. You don't have to write it down every day, but you're creating something that's new and familiar. When we're creating a new reality, you're just creating, well, really not creating, but you're shifting into a reality that already exists. So you want to make that reality familiar. So that's why yes, write it down every day or just read it. Remind yourself every day, whatever that manifestation is, like I'm so grateful I have this loving relationship. Write that down, read it every day, or whatever it is, money. I'm so grateful I have an extra $10,000. And then you're reading that every day because you have to familiarize yourself with that reality, having thoughts from that reality, and that will be pushed out into your world. It's important that you're consistent and that you persist until it's done. When I say until it's done, it means until it's a manifested reality and you're experiencing it. How do you separate manifestation from obsession? Well, manifestation is creating your reality. We're already doing it. We're already manifesting. I don't think one has to do with the other. Okay? Manifestation means you're focusing on goals. Some people could call manifestation goals, or sometimes I even call manifestation living life. Okay, so is it an obsession to live life? Well, I mean, that's your perception. Something within you has some sort of belief around that. No, you're creating your life. You're already doing it. We're already creating our life by whatever we're saying. Our words are speaking our life into existence. And our words are coming from the words that we say, and the thoughts that we're thinking and the feelings that we have come from who we are. So we're changing at the core of who we are to change and shift into that reality. All about E. I'm new here. I needed this extra support and information. If you want to level up, join my VIP group. In my VIP group, I'm going live several times a week. Wake up every day and make a decision. This is your best life. You are already living your best life. If you want to create that you're living your best life, then you need to start declaring that now. And you need to start seeing that you are living your best life. Oh, Vinny, SP told me she lied and led me on. Now she's interested in a new guy. How can I heal, get her back? Do you see that this was all a reflection from within you? Do you see that she lied and led you on, but there's something within you that she's reflecting? So how do you heal? You turn your attention to yourself. You can start declaring the wholeness that you are within. You are whole. You are healed. You already are the version of you want to be. I mean, this shifting into the reality where you have your desire is all about you thinking from that version of you who already has the desire. So how can you heal? Start declaring, I am healed. Okay. Even though you feel like you're not, but see, you got to start shifting into the version of you who is, and then you will just be in the bridge of incidents. You'll start to unfold a reality where you become healed, where you are healed by claiming it. By claiming I am healed, the things that you need to come into your life will just come into your life to help heal you to be to that version of you who is healed. So you start saying to yourself, I am healed. I am enough. I am everything I want to be. I am an amazing person. I am incredible. I am loved. I'm filled with love. Okay, when you fill yourself with love and truth, okay, she's reflecting back some program that's within you. And the program that's within you is just from the world, of the like life experiences become your program. And it all exists. But you could shift out of that experience into an experience where you are love. So you here, because based on the description of what you said in your question, if you meditate on these ideas, which meditation could mean you're affirming it, or you're saying it to yourself pretty consistently on these ideas. Okay, instead of lying, you want to focus on truth and loyalty and commitment, right? Truth, loyalty, commitment. Meditate on those ideas. Meditate on a version of you who's secure and healed. I am secure, I am healed, or I intend to feel healed and secure. And love, I mean, love conquers all. I mean, focus on the version of you who is loved, who feels love, who gives love, who has love to give. Okay. If you do that consistently, you're going to reflect a reality that shows you that that's true, that you are loved and that you have, commitment and honesty and trust and loyalty and already healed and already secure. Love you all. If you want additional help, I work with clients one-on-one through Zoom. You could schedule an appointment with me up in the link in my description. You could also join my VIP group. If you want to level up, join a monthly subscription group with me in my VIP mastermind. I go live in there several times a week. I do a Q&A, a live Q&A. You can get in touch with me through the chat. There is a feed. It's an app that you download, and it's really easy, accessible. We're consistently solidifying the version of life where you're living your best life. All right, guys, I love you all. Have an amazing day. Bye.